What? Bang!
Whoa! Wrestling podcast. Just when they think they got the answers, I change the question.
Rep, screwed, rep.
Yeah!
Woo!
Who are you to doubt El Dandy? Because this guy's a serious professional.
Did he do it?
I'm too hot to handle and too cold to hold. And I am Macho King Savage.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty. I said WWE stands for...
It's me, Austin!
I will never retire.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, yo, Pro Wrestling Podcast listeners, welcome to the show where we don't sing it, we bring it. Help us out and click subscribe to show your support. Are you sick and tired of dropping $60 to $100 for the latest and greatest wrestling video game? Stop immediately. Go to Wrestler Unstoppable, available exclusively through Facebook. Create a wrestler, get into contracts, headline PLEs, get into storylines, build your own company from the ground up, all included in Wrestler Unstoppable, available now, totally free to Facebook users. If you want to get your name in the shoutouts, become a member of the Pro Wrestling Podcast family by going to our Patreon channel, patreon.com/Pro Wrestling Podcast, like my good buddy John down in Texas. John, got to give you that shout out. Sign up today. We have loyalty rewards. $15 a month contributors. You get to co-host a show with myself. $7.50 a month. We'll put you into a drawing to co-host an episode as well. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Pro Wrestling Podcast. If you got questions, comments, something you want us to get to in a future episode, drop us a line. 267-642-1160 at the Pro Wrestling Sound Off line, and we will get to those conversation pieces in a future episode. And don't forget, John, my number one Patreon, and I are in the process of putting together a multi-part special series that will be Patreon exclusive coming soon. So if you are a Patreon member, make sure you check that out as soon as that releases. Today, we're getting to a few things. 1, Smackdown results. 2, predictions for Night of Champions and the rest of the day's news and rumors. Starting with Smackdown, decent show, but it felt rushed. Felt like they just had to get all their stuff in. They didn't really have this well planned out. And it almost is a knock on every time they go to Saudi Arabia, something funky goes on, and it just doesn't feel right. This is the same situation with this episode. Show kicks off with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes coming face to face. I think they did a very good job of their interplay with each other. They have a history. The reactions from the fans were amazing. I think everything that went on between these two in this interaction was perfect. If you really think about it, the whole opportunity to have a huge match between Randy and Cody, I don't think this pay-per-view is the last time we'll see that. I really don't. I think we need to wait for one or the other to go heel and then have that big blowout match, probably a WrestleMania level match. But this was nice to set things up and get things going, and really just further everything ahead. There was some issue with the American feed cutting out. So if you were watching this live earlier, that's an issue, about 30-minute feed issue. When they come back, Jimmy Uso and JC Mateo are getting in the ring. Solo Sikoa at ringside. Decent match, nothing surprising here. I think everybody would expect JC Mateo to win. The action comes after the match when Solo Sikoa gets in the ring. He's trying to get Jimmy Uso to embrace him. Jacob Fatu comes out. We have a whole interplay there. Actually see Jimmy save Jacob at one point, which I thought was a really interesting way to handle this. Because we have to find a way to get Jimmy and Jacob on the same page. Now, actually, we'll get to that in a minute. I don't want to spoil anything too soon. I have an update regarding this storyline to begin with, but we'll get to that in a minute. Clearly, this is furthering the United States Championship match for tomorrow night. Everything, again, rushed, but works. I'm not sure how I feel about the Jimmy Uso angle. I actually thought there was a small chance Jimmy might actually go with Solo. Maybe that'll happen in the future. I don't know. But if they want to put Jimmy and Jay back together because their tag team division is lacking challengers really heavily right now, you would have to steer clear of that for right now. The next match that we get, Zelina Vega defending the Women's Championship against Julia and in Saudi Arabia for SmackDown. Julia is going to win her first main roster singles championship, pinning Zelina Vega with a Northern Lights bomb for the win, becoming the new Women's United States Champion. Congratulations to Julia. I love seeing her in a prime spot. They're really accentuating her call-up to the main roster and really trying to shatter the conception that, or misconception that everybody who comes up from NXT goes nowhere. That's not true, and clearly Julia is doing a great job. We have some more interplay with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Clearly there's an opportunity here for the two of them to be paired up. I think that will be interesting. And really could give some great challengers for whoever the women's tag team champions are coming out of Evolution 2. Asuka and Jade Cargill, they get in the ring for an in-ring segment. Very good interplay. Asuka's got such a unique character, as does Jade Cargill in very different ways. I don't love the injection of Naomi into their business, her coming out and interrupting them. I love her character, but I don't need it for this. It almost feels like old news. I feel like she needs to save that briefcase until after Cargill wins the Women's Championship at some point and they cash in on Jade. But whatever, it worked. Asuka ends up getting physical with Jade Cargill. Naomi's mocking her at the end. But, it could have been worse. It really could have. But, it felt rushed. It felt like they were just trying to get everything in to have a complete show. R-Truth is going to have, I apologize, I got it out of order. DIY has their match with Andrade and Rey Fenix. Hate what they're doing with DIY right now. It's a great tag team, but they lose to Andrade and Rey Fenix. And why are Andrade and Rey Fenix a tag team to begin with? Phoenix always should have gone to Raw and paired with his brother. I don't know why they did this. I'm fine with the two of them picking up a win. I just don't like to see it go over DIY. At the end of the match, it looked like either Ciampa is a fantastic seller for his injury, or a guy with a history of neck problems may have hurt his neck at the end of the match because he was holding his neck and everybody stayed away from him for a while. So not sure if there's an injury there or not, but that's definitely something to monitor, keep our eyes on. R-Truth got his opportunity to come to the ring. He was, going out talking his truth conversation. And when that happens, Aleister Black appeared behind him and hit him with Black Mass, telling him that they're even now. I don't know how I feel about this feud. I think it's interesting you put Truth in a premium feud with Aleister Black, if you consider Aleister Black premium anymore, the way WWE's been booking him. But I like that you're moving him away from John Cena, because obviously they're not going to have him win the championship, even though some of us would support that. But it's interesting. It's an interesting feud to have Aleister Black and R-Truth. So I'm okay for it. I'm here for it. I want to see that. Street Profits, they get their an interview moment, having a conversation, explaining what's going on. They end up having their match with the Wyatt Six, which basically turned into a free-for-all. Multiple teams coming out, getting involved. Los Garzas, Motor City Machine Guns, Fraxium, everybody coming out and getting involved. This was a total schmoz, waste of time. Again, felt like it furthers the tag team storyline a bit, but it felt so fast. It really, really did. There was some interplay backstage between Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso. It seems like that's a union that's going to take place. I'm not sure how yet, but that's exciting if they do something useful with Jimmy Uso, because I think he deserves more than what he's been getting. The main match event for the evening was the Women's Championship, Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton for the Women's Championship. Solid match. It's a last woman standing match. A couple near falls at the end. Several 7 or 8 counts throughout the match. At the end, though, what my issue is again, feels rushed. Naomi comes out threatening to cash in Money in the Bank. All sorts of melee at the end. Jax hitting a big move and setting up for an 8 count, but when she goes to set her up, she ends up getting knocked through 2 tables on the outside, and it was a really awkward looking bump, and that picks up the 10 count and the win for Tiffany Stratton. I'm fine with Tiffany winning. I just, again, like, Naomi's in everybody's business, and it's almost intrusive at this point, and I feel like this Nia Jax thing has been done to death. Like, this was almost a pointless match. But whatever, it is what it is. We'll have to wait and see where they go with this and going forward. John Cena and CM Punk come out. They face-to-face before Night of Champions. Interesting reaction to CM Punk coming out. Earlier in the day, he was booed at the press show. because of his comments in 2019 to The Miz about Saudi Arabia. He apologized on that show, but clearly not everybody got the memo. But he did, this is going to be an interesting thing. The really cool thing is when Punk Life flashes on the screen, John Cena's old theme music, and CM Punk came out, which was hilarious, and a Cubs throwback and a big necklace and knuckles that say drug free on them. It was so funny. Jort's hat, the whole John Cena 9 yards. It was absolutely hilarious. I loved it. This was good back and forth. I really think it was solid. Again, I feel like a broken record tonight. Very repetitive in terms of how much it felt rushed. But it accomplished what it needed to accomplish. So SmackDown, all in all, pretty solid show. Not a lot of complaints other than the pacing. I think they could have done a little more to make things make more sense. But who am I? Maybe I don't understand always what it takes to make these things happen. Let's get into our predictions real quick because we want to get to those. Night of Champions tomorrow night. Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. If I'm picking the winner of this, I would have Kross win, but I don't think WWE is going to do that because Kross's contract is coming up, and I don't think they want to push him because they haven't signed him yet. At least that's the word. So I'm going with Sami Zayn winning that match, and that grudge match is long overdue. Should have happened 3 months ago. In the street fight, Rhea Ripley going against Raquel. Rhea Ripley easily, in my opinion, wins this. I don't see any reason to add to Raquel Rodriguez. Unless you see some interference from Roxanne, which they may do that just to further their alliance. I just hope Roxanne takes some bumps, doesn't change the finish outcome, and they can go on and do their tag team thing while Rhea moves on to something else, because it's getting kind of laborious to see this keep going with the Judgment Day. The United States Championship match, Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa. I don't think there's any question here that Jacob Fatu should be the winner. The only thing that's funky, and I said I was going to get to this in a minute, I said I didn't want to jump the gun earlier, there is a WWE star who is not scheduled for Night of Champions who's there, and it relates to this match. Hikuleo is in Saudi Arabia. He's done a couple dark matches. Main event match and a dark match. He could get involved. It'll be interesting to see if he does. We'll have to wait and see. I still think Jacob Fatu keeps that United States Championship because he hasn't done a lot with it since winning it at WrestleMania. Jade Cargill and Asuka, the Queen of the Ring. I think it has to be Jade Cargill so they can get back on track with making her a champion very shortly. Heading into SummerSlam, she'll challenge and win that championship. Asuka doesn't need it, though I wouldn't mind if she won it. I think Asuka's doing great work. I'm glad to have her back, but I think this is for Jade to win to eventually have that blow-off match with Naomi one more time with the briefcase on the line. The men's final, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. In a lot of worlds, I'd say Randy Orton, but right now I'm going to say Cody Rhodes because I think that's where he's going to get his return championship match against John Cena. Now, previously it was a championship match at SummerSlam. Maybe they pushed that off. Maybe he could get his championship opportunity when he chooses. That would be even better. And then he could take that match at the Ruthless Aggression pay-per-view at the end of the year and win the championship there. But I suspect it'll be SummerSlam. And if it is SummerSlam, I do not think he regains the championship. And then the Undisputed Championship, John Cena has to win this. As much as I would love to see CM Punk be the guy to stop his reign of terror, I don't think it's going to happen. Certainly not after the Punk Life thing tonight. But it is going to be a fantastic match. Can't wait to see it. That is my predictions for the show. Other tidbits for the night. Evolution 2 around the corner, and word is there is a former WWE talent, AEW talent, former manager, little bit of in-ring work coming back for the show possibly. That would be Vicky Guerrero. Her excuse me line would be perfect for Evolution 2. Not sure what they have for her. This is a one-off, or if she's actually going to come back and do some things. I'd be open to either or. She really plays her role so well. It'd be nice to see her. And we need more people in because there's a lot of people going out. Word this week about all these injuries. LA Knight recently added to the injury list, except he's not actually injured. It is pure storyline. However, Chad Gable and Liv Morgan, two of the more recent ones to go along with others that are already out. People like Drew McIntyre, etc. Chad Gable, his injury apparently is taking him out for the foreseeable future. He's going to need surgery as well, as did Liv Morgan. Those are two heavy-duty injuries that are going to be, foreseeable future, many months. Liv at least 16 weeks, if not more. Chad Gable, no timetable. But WWE definitely has the injury bug right now. Even Otis is hurt right now. Like, everybody seems to be getting hurt in WWE right now. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out over time. But in the end, hopefully, they can get enough people healthy for a huge SummerSlam card that's around the corner. Moving into some other... Dave Meltzer talking about how he does not expect the recently returned Kota Ibushi to appear at All In Texas. That's kind of a surprise, especially with the premium match that he had on Dynamite. It would be really great to see him get involved. He could be in the Casino Battle Royal. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened, but otherwise not in the cards for All In Texas. Shocking. Also not in the cards, at least currently, Keith Lee, who they've made very clear. He gave an update this week on his career. He is healthy and ready to go. We're not sure why AEW hasn't brought him back. Last time he was in the ring, he was in a feud with Swerve Strickland that really never had a blow-off. So they need to wrap that up somehow. He could come back as a heel and go after Swerve if they really wanted to. It's been that long. Curious to see where that ends up. Former TNA World Champion is about to be in a contract year, and we were talking about Steve Maclin, former WWE superstar, now in TNA. Did sign a contract, a one-year deal last year, but his contract apparently is up this year as well. And it's looking like TNA is kind of turning into like a farm system for WWE all over the place. Because not only do we have to concern whether or not Steve Maclin will resign, but Mike Santana, who had his WWE debut on NXT, was ranting and raving about on Muscle Man Malcolm's show about his experience with WWE and how much he enjoyed being there. And that clearly is, there's word out that WWE was very happy with him, very interested in him, and good for him. After everything that went down with LAX and everything else, it'd be great to see him get a shot as a single star somewhere very soon. I expect TNA and then eventually possibly in WWE. And then the last thing we'll get to is for AEW. They have two major records that it looks like they may break with All In Texas, almost a guarantee. They would be the largest gate non-WWE in North American history. They're already at 2.5 million generated at the gate, which will double what they did at Forbidden Door last year, which is their previous largest non-WWE gate in history. In addition, their attendance. The previous attendance record was their first ever Grand Slam edition of AEW Dynamite in 2021, where they had 20,177 people. Right now, they're at 20,516. I apologize. 20,516 is what WCW Slamboree 99 had. That is the current record for a non-WWE attended pay-per-view. But this one, they already announced a total of 19,000, something like that, tickets sold. Plus all the free tickets they gave away. They're going to shatter that record. So 2 records for AEW coming out of the weekend. Congrats to them. It just shows the growth in their company the last few years, and hopefully they continue to do that going forward. That's all the time we have for this episode. Check back with us next episode. We run down the latest wrestling news and rumors. Special thanks as always to Suno AI for creating the music that we use in our show. Today's show is sponsored in part by Beazle Games. Bring a new friend to family game night. It's easy with Sketchy people. Showcase your artistic side in this game from Beazle Games by going to thegamecrafter.com and picking up your copy today. If you're looking for your next career move, you're considering college, university life, or you just need some formal training for your next career decision, go to our website at frolifeplanning.com for all your higher education needs, as Fro Life Educational Planning is for today, for tomorrow, and for life with Fro Life. I'm Fred Froelich, better known as Dr. Fro. I want to thank you so much for taking some time with us today. Till next time, take care, everybody. Have a great night.
Wrestling Podcast.